A year ago, she walked onto an outer court at Wimbledon with no seed, no expectations, and almost nobody outside tennis knew her name. This year, she walks in through a different door, not because she won a title, not because she lifted a trophy, but because she lost. That sounds impossible, until you see how one semifinal defeat quietly turned a 20-year-old Filipino wildcard into something no player from her country had ever become before, a seeded player at a Grand Slam. And the craziest part? The match she didn't win may have changed everything. Wimbledon. For most players, it's a dream. For Alexandra Eala, it was always the dream. July 2025. Court 14. Outer courts. Smaller crowd. Early round. Across the net stood Barbora Krejcikova, a former Wimbledon champion. 4-1 set, Eala looked fearless. She took the opener. Suddenly, people started paying attention. Could this unknown Filipino wildcard actually pull it off? Then reality hit. Krejcikova adjusted. The next 2 sets disappeared quickly. Eala lost. 3 sets. First round. Tournament over. She left Wimbledon ranked outside the top 50. One of 128 names in the draw. No number next to hers. No protection. No spotlight. Just another player trying to break through. And if you stopped the story there, you would never predict what happened next. Fast forward almost exactly 1 year. June 2026. The WTA releases its latest rankings. No special announcement. No ceremony. Just numbers. But buried inside those numbers was something historic. Alexandra Eala jumped from world number 35 to world number 30. That mattered for one reason. Wimbledon seeds the top 32 players in the rankings. 32 names. That's it. And suddenly, Alexandra Eala was one of them. For the first time ever, a Filipino player earned a seed in a Grand Slam singles main draw. Not a wild card. Not a qualifier. Not a feel-good story. Seeded. Protected. Expected. Different room. Different expectations. Same player. But here's where the story gets weird. Because 2 days before that ranking became official, she lost. Berlin Open semifinal. Grass season. Alexandra Eala versus Linda Noskova. Final score. 6-2. 6-4. Noskova wins. Most people saw a defeat. But rankings don't care about emotions. They care about points. And reaching that semifinal gave Eala exactly enough points to cross the line. That loss was the reason she got seeded. Read that again. She didn't become seeded despite losing. She became seeded because she reached the round where she lost. The defeat wasn't the opposite of the milestone. It created it. And that changes the whole story. Because if you grew up following tennis in the Philippines, or almost any country where tennis isn't the national obsession, you know how losses usually get framed. Loss means ceiling. Loss means not quite there. Loss becomes narrative. And Eala had plenty of those. Earlier in 2026, she lost badly to Linda Noskova at Indian Wells. Before this stretch, reports even tracked her as winless against Czech opponents across her career. That kind of stat sticks. Commentators repeat it. Fans remember it. Eventually players start carrying it. So when she lost again in Berlin, the easy headline was obvious. Close. Promising. Not ready. Except that's not what happened. Because Berlin wasn't about where she finished. It was about who she beat to get there. First came Donna Vekic. Then came Elena Rybakina. World number 2. Eala beat her in straight sets. Then came Alina Svitolina. World number 8. Another win. Back-to-back victories over top 10 players. At a WTA 500 event. On grass. That detail matters. Because grass wasn't supposed to be her surface. Eala developed through the Rafa Nadal Academy. That system became famous for clay. For patience. For grinding. Grass is different. Fast. Low bounce. Short points. Historically not the obvious place for academy players to explode. But suddenly, grass became her best chapter. Her record climbed. Confidence climbed. Results followed. Earlier in the season, she had already captured a title in Birmingham. Another signal. Another hint. And then Berlin turned hints into proof. This is the moment where careers change. Not when everyone agrees you belong, but when results force them to admit it. Because look at who Eala passed in the rankings. Hailey Baptiste. Emma Raducanu,
Donna Vekic,
Katerina Siniakova. 1 week, 1 run, 1 shift. Emma Raducanu, a US Open champion, ended up below Eala in the standings. That's how thin the margins are. People imagine rankings as giant gaps. Usually they're tiny. 1 tournament, 1 extra round, 1 week where everything clicks. And suddenly the draw changes. Your opponents change. Your expectations change. That's what seeding really is. People hear the word and think status. But seeding is structure. Seeded players avoid top names early. They enter differently. They prepare differently. Their tournament opens differently. The whole architecture changes. And now Eala had crossed that invisible line. No longer trying to surprise people. Now she would arrive as one of the players others wanted to avoid. That's a different pressure. Then came one of those moments sport somehow writes better than fiction. Bad Homburg. Warm-up week before Wimbledon. Alexandra Eala entered doubles. Her partner, Venus Williams. One of the most decorated players in tennis history. 7-time Grand Slam champion. Different generations. Different eras. Same side of the net. Think about that image. One player building legacy. One player entering history. Standing together. A reminder of how quickly careers move. 1 year ago, Eala was trying to survive round 1. Now she was sharing courts with legends and entering Wimbledon seeded. And maybe that's the most interesting part of this story. There wasn't one giant breakthrough moment. No miracle title. No overnight success. No movie ending. There was a first-round Wimbledon loss. Weeks of rankings. Quiet improvement. Unexpected grass results. Upsets. Semifinals. Losses. Points. Progress. That's how it happened. Which makes it feel more real. Because the truth is, history rarely announces itself. Sometimes it arrives on a Monday morning ranking update. Sometimes it arrives after a loss. Sometimes the thing people celebrate looks ordinary in real time. But then you zoom out. Court 14. First round exit. Outer court.
no seed.
1 year later. Same tournament. Same building. Seeded. 1 of 32. First in her country's history. That's not overnight. That's transformation. And now comes the part nobody can predict. The draw. Who she plays. Which quarter she lands in. Whether this becomes a breakthrough tournament. Or simply another step. But one thing already changed. Alexandra Eala doesn't walk into Wimbledon as a surprise anymore. She walks in with a number next to her name. And that number means the tennis world finally had to make room. Same building. Different door. Same player. Different seat in the room. What happens next is up to her. But there's one more layer to this story that makes the moment feel bigger than rankings. Because tennis doesn't remember rankings. Tennis remembers what you do after you get them. History is full of players who reached a milestone once and disappeared. Break into the top 30. Lose early. Slide back. Become a trivia question. That's the pressure Eala walks into now. Until this point, she's been dangerous because she had freedom. Nobody expected her to beat world number 2. Nobody expected her to make deep runs. Nobody circled her name. Now they will. That's the trade. The higher you climb, the less surprise works. Now opponents prepare. Now scouting reports get longer. Now every upset win becomes a target on your back. And Wimbledon might be the hardest place in the world to carry that new identity. Because Wimbledon doesn't care about stories. Every year someone arrives as the breakthrough. Every year somebody leaves in round 1. Grass rewards confidence, but it punishes hesitation. One bad service game, one bad tiebreak, and the tournament can disappear in under 2 hours. That's why being seeded matters. Not because it guarantees anything, because it earns you the chance to start differently. One better draw, one more opportunity, one extra breath before the storm. But eventually, you still have to win. And this is where things get interesting. Because Eala's biggest victories so far weren't accidents. Look at the pattern. Rybakina, Svitolina. Big stages. Big names. She didn't survive those matches. She controlled parts of them. That changes how players see you. Some opponents walk onto court expecting to win. That belief disappears fast once somebody proves they can take the racket out of your hands. Now Eala enters Wimbledon carrying evidence. Not hype. Evidence. And tennis players know the difference, which means somewhere in that locker room, someone is looking at the draw and quietly hoping they don't land in her section. That sentence would have sounded impossible 12 months ago. Now it sounds realistic. And maybe that's the biggest shift of all. Not that Alexandra Eala became seeded. Not that she reached world number 30. Not that she made history. It's that for the first time, the question is no longer, can she compete here? Now the question becomes, how far can she go? Different question, different expectations, different future. And if this last year taught us anything, it's that the answer might arrive in a way nobody expects. Because sometimes the match that changes your career isn't the one you win. It's the one that proves you belong.